It was like turning to Genesis. It's easy to find. It's forgiving. You don't have to. Usually, when you open your Bible, you say go to Psalms and hang a left or hang a right. Psalms right in the middle. Genesis at the beginning, chapter 6. You read verses 1 to 22. That's the whole chapter. So when men began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with man forever, for he is mortal. His days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. The Lord saw how great man's wickedness on the earth had become, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil all the time. The Lord was grieved that he had made man on the earth, and his heart was filled with pain. So the Lord said, I will wipe mankind whom I have created from the face of the earth, men and animals, the creatures that move along the ground, and the birds of the air, for I am grieved that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. This is the account of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on the earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, 45 feet high. Make a roof for it and finish the ark with 18 inches in the top. Put a door on the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. I'm going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature that has the breath of life in it. Everything on earth will perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. You're going to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, every kind of animal, every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to you to be kept alive. You're going to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and stored away as food for you and for them. Noah did everything just as God commanded. Now, this is probably familiar. The story of Noah and the ark is one we learned as kids. It's even a story sometimes that people who don't even know the gospel, they use it as themes for their babies' rooms. The Noah's Ark, it's because it's kind of, I guess it's kind of juicy with all the animals and stuff, but it's not just a cutesy little story. We meet Noah in Genesis 6, and that people are increasing on the earth like they were supposed to do. They were supposed to fill the earth. You know, that's what they were supposed to do. And they had daughters, and the sons of God, Genesis says, saw that they were beautiful, and they married them any way they saw fit. Now, believe me, many people have undertaken to figure out exactly what this means. Who are these sons of God? In this verse. And I'm just going to share with you 3 possibilities real quickly. 3 possibilities, and then we're going to move on, because at the end of the day, there's something more important here to grasp than who these guys are. But one is that they're non-human, God-like beings, such as angels or demons or spirits. Another possibility is they're superior men like kings. Or the other option is that they're simply descendants of Seth. And the oldest and most widely held view is the first one. These sons of God were spiritual beings who became enamored with the daughters of men and married them. And that's a problem. Because we all know what marriage is. It's a spiritual bond between a man and a woman. Now, we can have spiritual bonds with other things. We shouldn't, but we can. Things that are evil. And regardless of what we think about this passage or how people choose to interpret it, what was happening here was not a good thing. Things were happening that should not have been happening. And there was spiritual bonding here that clearly wasn't holy. Anything other than what God says is right is unholy, is wrong, is sinful. And God says in verse 3, my spirit will not contend with man forever. For he's mortal. His days will be 120 years. And you see, this is where God doesn't often flex his muscles. He can. What he does, that's the way it goes. But he's given us options. He's given us the ability to choose right and wrong. He doesn't say, okay, this is option A or B. Now you're going with A. He gives us options. And sometimes we get it right, and sometimes we get it wrong. And the Bible says in those days, Nephilim were on the earth, and also afterwards, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children. They were heroes of old and men of renown, it says, and they were here around afterwards. Now, this doesn't have to give us grief. Some have suggested because the Nephilim were mentioned again in the book of Numbers, that they somehow survived the flood. No, nothing survived the flood. Nothing else survived the flood. These were not a race of people. They were heroes of old, men of renown. Heroes come and go. Heroes rise up. Great warriors come and go. And sometimes, with all the discussion surrounding who these folks are, what gets lost is the real point of this story. You get bogged down for days arguing about who these people are, where they come from, what they were doing. To some extent it matters, but to some extent it doesn't. The point is earlier in verse 5, when the Lord saw how great man's wickedness on the earth had become. And get this, these are some words that the world doesn't like to use anymore, because the world doesn't like words that are extreme. We got to use middle of the road kind of words. Every inclination of the thoughts of man's heart was only evil all the time. That's significant. I mean, sometimes evil part of the time doesn't sound so bad, but only evil all the time. That's 24/7, round the clock. Nothing but pure evil going through people's hearts and minds. Now, we have some pretty rotten people in the world. I know some people that are pretty rotten, but even some of the rotten people I know have a good thought every now and then. You know? I know some real pieces of work who would do you a favor in a heartbeat. So they're not quite there yet where it's only evil all the time. And in Noah's day, only evil all the time. To the point where the Lord was grieved that He put us on the earth in the first place. Now, we've all done things we wish we could do over. But God is so grieved that He made us on the earth. He says, I'm going to wipe them out. I'm going to wipe them out. The people that I've created. I'm going to wipe them from the face of the earth. Even the animals. Even the animals. Because I'm grieved that I made them. Now, we all know that God doesn't make mistakes. This isn't God admitting to making a mistake. He didn't make mistakes. We made a mistake. We made mistakes. And that's what He's saying here. He didn't make a mistake. He put within each of us, as I said before, the ability to choose. And when the people were choosing only evil, all the time, except for one. Verse 8 tells us there's a guy named Noah. He found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Now, it's hard to say how many people were on the earth in them days, but only one guy was doing anything right. And you notice it doesn't even talk about Noah's kids being righteous. It kind of lucked out in this one, I say. But Noah was righteous, he was blameless, he walked with God, and when God saw how corrupt the earth was, and how full of violence it had become, and how badly the people had corrupted their ways, He pulled Noah aside and said, hey, I'm going to put an end to all this, but I need your help. All right, make a boat, make an ark, make it this big. I'm going to flood the place. Okay, I'm going to destroy everybody. Everything's going down, but I'm going to establish a covenant with you. So take your family and a bunch of animals and enough food and get on this ark. And at the end of the chapter, Noah did everything just as God commanded him. And God would later establish His covenant with Noah, and He put a rainbow in the sky to remind us that He would never do it again. And so we see lots of rainbows in the sky. And I'm not sure what you think when you see the rainbow in the sky. Right? Because if it was me, the only reason I'm convinced that God doesn't do it again is because He said He wouldn't. Because if He hadn't put the rainbow in the sky, He said He wouldn't. He'd build an ark. You know? If He told me to. We'd be building an ark. I think He's given us a better ark. You know, and that's, I can only imagine what some of the people in Noah's day thought when they saw Noah build the ark. You wonder what they thought. You just kind of wonder as they walked by. He took him a long time to build this thing. He didn't just whip it up overnight. You know, he's not Bob the Builder. You know, he didn't whip it up overnight. And I bet you they didn't realize until it started to rain and the water started to rise, and then they were the first batch of people who would be up the creek. And it was too late. Chapter 7, verses 22 and 23 tells us that everything died. Everything that had the breath of life in its nostrils was dead. And they weren't ready when that happened. They weren't ready. The end of chapter 7, from verse 23 tells us that only Noah was left. and those with him in the ark. 8 people. 8 people walked out of the ark. That's it. God destroyed everything else. And what remained was a new start. 8 people with a covenant and a command. And verse 9:1, be fruitful, increase in number, and fill the earth. Now he started with 8. They got some work to do if they're going to fill the place. We're here. We're working on it. We're working on it. And Jesus says in Matthew 24, I love when you get to the New Testament and you read about the Old Testament. And when that happens, when you're in the New Testament and you read about the Old Testament, it's good if you can to stick your finger where you're reading and flip back and find out what they were referencing in the Old Testament. But in Matthew 24:37, when Jesus is talking about returning, he says, as it was in the days of Noah. And when Jesus says, as it was in the days of Noah, you should say, okay, how was it in the days of Noah? We need to download our Noah. We'll go back and read it. He says, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. They knew nothing of what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. The wicked people didn't know what was going to happen. They had no clue. But Noah knew, and he was prepared. The rest of creation did. So will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. As Christians, we know what's going to happen. The rest of the world has no clue, and they're about to be destroyed. They don't know that. Now, our call isn't to make fun of them about it. It's to say, hey, guys, get it over here. Get it over here. We need to be ready. And it took a lot of courage. It's not like us to be able to know what did. Do you ever hear somebody say, oh, well, you Christians think you're right and everybody else is wrong? Well, guess what? Noah was right, and everybody else was wrong. And it's not about, hey, we're right. We don't need to get kicked out of being right. I'm not trying to prove anybody's wrong. God's already done that. But it's going to take courage. It took courage to do it. It's going to take courage to do what we need to do in these days as the earth is clearly getting to a place where people are starting to think only evil all the time. We're almost there, if not already. And this must be what it looked like in Noah's day. The only difference that I can see is that God had Noah build an ark for his family and the animals. And today our ark is different. It isn't a big boat, it's a cross of God. And we're called to bring others on into the cross with us. We're called to invite, rescue them. Because Jesus said, behold, I'm coming soon. The last thing Jesus said that we've got recorded in Scripture. Behold, I'm coming soon. My reward is with me. I will give to everyone according to what he has done. When the Son of Man comes, are we safe on the ark? Or will we destroy the people in the flood? Noah had the courage to listen to God. He did everything just as God commanded. Genesis 6:22. So when it comes time in your life, you want to be able to look at Genesis 6:22, and instead of Noah, you want it to have your name right there. Did everything just as God commanded. Noah listened. And when it rained, it rained, didn't it? It rained for a long, long time. Something like a long time. It's going to rain again. It's going to rain again. And there's going to be destruction. Are we ready? Because God's going to call us to do something extraordinary in our part of the world. We've got to be ready for the coming of the Son of Man. Don't we? That call, I told the kids, ready or not, here I come. That call's already going out. Ready or not, here I'm coming. Noah was ready. He was faithful to what God called him to do, and that's what he's calling us to do, to be. I don't doubt Noah got made fun of. I'm convinced I saw a movie a long, long time ago that maybe I dreamt this. A whole group of people were making fun of Noah. Now, I don't know if that was in a movie or not. Nobody else remembers it, so maybe I'm making it up. But they're going to make fun of us. It's going to happen. Be okay with it. Get okay with it. I had a professor named Dr. Tuttle. He said, if you're not comfortable with it, get over it. We're going to make people uncomfortable. The gospel makes people uncomfortable. We need to be ready for the coming of the Son of Man. We're in Noah's day. Let's pray. Father God, help us. Help us, Lord, with our ark here at Plum. Lord, let us be a place people can come and hear about you and know you, Lord, and Lord, again, give us the grace and the courage to be part of what Noah was part of. Lord, this is how it's going to be in the days leading up to your return. Lord, again, we don't know if it's tomorrow or another couple hundred years from now, but Lord, let us be prepared. Lord, for you anytime. whenever you're ready, Lord God. Lord, help us, Lord, to bring as many people on board as we can. We pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.